Blue Book: The War of Cybernetic Dragons. Chapter 1: The Transfer. In the far reaches of a forgotten star cluster, shrouded in radiant magnetic fog, there floated a planet untouched by known galaxies, Zarthan 9. Lush yet unnatural, it teemed with biomechanical forests and rivers that shimmered like sentient circuitry. Among the planet's strange, antenna-bearing inhabitants, one being stood out: Koro, Xein. A reckless genius, a rule breaker, definitely not someone you'd trust with ancient technology. His curiosity burned brighter than regulation, which is exactly how he found himself face to face with the forbidden relic buried beneath the crust, the silent core. Crackling with untamed energy, the core pulsed with ancient code. The elders had forbidden it, which only made Koro more interested. With a lopsided grin and a half-melted marshmallow in hand, he muttered, "Yet me into legend," and activated the core. The world didn't shatter. It inverted. Koro's consciousness was torn from his body and flung into a cyber world older than any written code. But something was wrong. This place was not a simulation. It was an ecosystem of madness where physics flipped, logic bent backward, and reality looped like a corrupted MP3. Up was down. Sideways was fuzzy. The clouds rained flame. Signposts spun in endless circles reading, "You are here." Dragons of code spiraled overhead. Some glitched in and out of existence, their scales made of corrupted firewalls. One snorted disdainfully as it passed. "Great. Another meat brain trying to hack the universe," it grumbled. "Your mom's a ram stick," Koro shot back instinctively. He was chased by monocled cyber hyenas across a bridge made entirely of exploding memes. He fell through a portal labeled 404 Kingdom, reality not found, where his own voice tried to sell him diet potions in Latin. Eventually, he landed awkwardly on a floor made of binary sand. A figure cloaked in corrupted code emerged from the static. "You're not supposed to be here," the figure intoned, voice stuttering like a failing server fan. "I get that a lot," Koro replied. The sky overhead warped. Dragons, dozens of them, spiraled in battle, flames twisting through raw digital chaos. "This isn't just a world," the figure warned. "It's a war, and you just joined the losing side." Chapter 2: The Bug in the Throne. When Koro came to, he found himself seated. On a throne. A talking throne. He's unworthy. He brought snacks. "Virtual snacks don't count, Brad." "Does too." The throne glitched and fizzed with blue sparks as it bickered with itself. Koro blinked. He was inside a palace of corrupted code, its walls rippling like broken reflections in a cracked mirror. Above him, a glowing notification hovered. "Copy. Edit. Welcome, bug. You have administrative privileges. This is probably an error." "Cool," said Koro. "I want a tank." A tank appeared. It was duck-shaped. It fired tacos. Koro didn't question it. Before he could explore further, 3 robed figures materialized mid-glitch, their heads shaped like corrupted emojis. "Dizzy face counselor LOL," spoken emojis. "Repeat button counselor BRRR," buffered mid-sentence. "Warning counselor cringe." EXE had a blue screen for a face. "You have been." Cell, seal ejected. "To DD die," BRRR stammered. Before Koro could protest, the sky exploded. A digital dragon tore through reality, flames twisting into code as its massive wings tore open the palace roof. "The code must be purged," it roared. "NOU," Koro replied. The throne shimmered and transformed, wrapping around Koro in a hovermech exosuit glowing with command line glyphs and admin armor. "Okay, I'm into this now," he shouted, launching into the air as the dragon charged. Mid-battle, chaos reigned. Koro barrel rolled through glitch storms, taco missiles flying in all directions. The duck tank returned, screaming motivational Latin phrases like "Carpe Taco." Everything blurred in neon trails until Koro unleashed a weapon no algorithm could withstand. A meme missile, a corrupted 2006 GIF wrapped in digital spite. He hurled it into the dragon's exposed core. The beast screeched as its form collapsed, data unraveling into shards. Silence returned. Koro stood panting in the throne room ruins. A fractured panel of glass caught his eye. His reflection was wrong. An older, more corrupted version of himself glared back, eyes burning red. And just before it flickered out, the reflection whispered, "They're not after you. They're after what's still locked inside." Chapter 3: The Backup Protocol. Koro didn't blink. He just kept staring at the shattered glass, watching the last flicker of his own corrupted reflection fade into static. His hands were still glowing with residual data from the thrown mech, his breath fogged with neon. Somewhere nearby, the duck tank coughed up one last taco and powered down. "Okay," he said slowly. "Either I'm dreaming or I'm the protagonist of the strangest patch update in history." Something buzzed near his boot, a glowing beetle with a top hat. "Message for Koro XEN," it chirped. "System backup will commence in 30 seconds. Please proceed to the nearest recompiler node or risk total derezzing. Have a lovely meltdown." The beetle exploded into confetti. Koro looked around. The ruined throne room flickered, pixel walls half-rendered, and the air pulsing with warning beeps. "I feel like this is one of those times where running is smart," he muttered. He bolted. The corridor of forgotten patches. The hallway beyond the throne room didn't lead anywhere normal. It unfolded sideways. Literally, the floor peeled up into the wall, then curved into a ceiling, then decided it was a slide. Koro screamed, flailed, and somehow landed on his feet, skidding into a long, dim corridor filled with half-constructed NPCs murmuring nonsense lines like, "Welcome, Koro Sien. Enjoy our The ocean is not compatible with sand. Everything is fine. Panic effects disabled." Everything about this place felt like the back end of an abandoned game server, glitches upon forgotten plugins, dusty security protocols still roaming like ghosts. Then it found him, the recompiler node. A glowing archway flickered into existence in front of him. Recompiler node detected. Restore identity? Ibarra diagonalene. Koro hovered over the controls. His finger paused over the Y. Something inside him whispered don't. The air thickened, time bent. And then, flash. Suddenly he was elsewhere. Flashback to before the core. Zarthan 9 again, but clearer, sharper. He stood in his old lab, the one the elders destroyed. A message on a cracked hollow screen blinked slowly. Project XEIN, prototype mind fracture detected. Koro looked at the screen. But he wasn't alone. The corrupted version of him, the one from the mirror, stood nearby, hands behind his back, smiling like he knew everything. "You think you just fell into the code, Koro," the dark reflection said. "You put yourself here. You started this." Koro's voice caught in his throat. "Who are you?" "I'm the version of you that remembers what happened." The scene pixelated violently and shattered. Back in the corridor, Koro fell backwards out of the flash. The recompiler node had vanished. Only a single line of text glowed in midair. Backup incomplete. Identity fragmentation, 47%. Koro stood, heart pounding, mind spinning. This isn't just about dragons or code. He turned slowly toward a door that hadn't been there before, one etched with burning symbols and echoing with distorted music. "It's about what I left behind." And with that, he stepped forward. Chapter 4, Echoes Beyond the Firewall. The burning door didn't open. It absorbed him, not like a teleport or a shift, no flash, no sound effect. 1 second Koro stood before the gateway etched with glowing runes, and the next, he was part of it. The between code. He floated in a place that was neither sky nor space, a static sea of suspended commands, layered like translucent glass. Ancient subroutines rippled like wind over code water. Fragments of forgotten user prompts swirled by. WHOIS, command not recognized. Revoke underscore and denied. Begin remembering error, you already did. Koro's body flickered. He wasn't entirely himself anymore. Parts of him blinked into polygons. His thoughts echoed twice, once in his mind, once like a whisper from some other him. Then he heard it. You are inside the root loop. A new figure emerged, massive, transparent, and constantly rewriting itself like a being made of living code. One eye glowed like a red alert. The other constantly changed shapes. Welcome Koro XEIN. Version 3.7.9. Legacy bug. Wow, Koro muttered. Even your insults come with patch notes. The creature paused, as if confused by his existence. You are not from this backup cycle. Why are you still speaking? Memory shards unlocked. Koro's head burned with light. Memories real, simulated, invented, collided like unstable files trying to unzip inside his skull. His childhood on Zarthan 9. His early hacks into simulation layers. The night he first dreamed of dragons made of data. And buried among the flashes, a woman's voice. Gentle, commanding. If anything goes wrong, find the Archive of Flame. That's where I buried. You. Wait. What? Koro gasped aloud. But the vision collapsed. The Loop Guardian awakens. Reality surged. The reconfiguring entity twisted into a cybernetic serpent dragon, scales layered in firewall sigils, its voice now corrupted and deep. Unrecognized consciousness. Purge required. The between code flashed red. Koro dove. Through data clouds. Between firewall thorns. The Loop Guardian chased him, breaking command lines apart in its wake. Okay, definitely not a therapy session. He screamed. Then a ping. A directional beacon. Archive. He bolted toward it. The Archive of Flame. Koro crashed through a firewall that screamed as it opened. Beyond it, a glowing temple built of burning data sat atop a field of smoldering variables. The walls shimmered with looping script. Inside it was quiet and impossibly warm. He stepped forward. A small flame flickered midair. Inside the flame was a memory. A perfect copy of himself asleep. It's a backup, he whispered. Of me, but's pre-glitch. Suddenly, a voice echoed from behind him. The real question is, what part of you deserves to wake up? He turned. The corrupted version of himself was back, smirking, stronger, and armed. And this time, it wasn't just a reflection. Chapter 5, Glitch Fire Duel. The Archive of Flame flickered like it was breathing, pulsing with echoes of data long sealed away. Koro stood still, facing the corrupted version of himself. The flame between them cast long shadows, both real and symbolic. Still pretending you're the original, the corrupted Koro sneered. I'm the memory that didn't forget. And I'm the one who kept going, Koro replied, fists clenched. They circled. Each step they took distorted the floor, glitching it into fragments of places Koro had once been. The throne room, the slide-like corridor, even the core chamber. The Archive reacted, sensing the paradox between them. Suddenly, the corrupted Koro lunged. Flames of corrupted code burst from his hands, glitch fire, a technique that rewrites anything it touches. Koro barely dodged, rolling across a floating bridge of firewall runes. Koro launched a counterstrike, a hologram blade formed from debug commands. It flickered, unstable, but struck true. Sparks flew as it connected, slicing through the corrupted Koro's armor. They clashed, memory versus identity, glitch versus growth. Every impact sent pulses through the Archive. Panels on the walls shattered into streams of data. The flame pulsed faster. Something was waking up. Chapter 6, The Echo Lock. The corrupted Koro staggered. Data leaked from his wounds like bleeding code. You were never meant to survive the transfer, he snarled. You're a glitch. A placeholder. I'm the reason the system still breathes, Koro shot back. The flame behind them flared, massive, alive. It surged upward, forming into a third shape, a glowing, genderless version of Koro, made entirely of memory data. The Archive's original core. The source. I am XEIN, it said. Both Koros turned. It looked at each of them. One of you is a preservation, the other adaptation. But only one can pass into the next phase. The walls of the Archive cracked. Above them, the sky pixelated. Through the cracks, another world shimmered, a realm untouched by corruption, glowing pure white. This is the Echo Lock, XEIN said. A single truth must remain. Koro looked at his corrupted self, then at XEIN. And then... He stepped back. I'm not choosing, he whispered. He turned, sprinting toward the flame. The corrupted Koro screamed. No! Koro leapt into the fire. The world exploded into code. When the light cleared, only silence remained. The Archive of Flame dimmed to embers. In another realm, untouched, a figure stood quietly in a white field of memory flowers. They looked like Koro, but older or maybe newer. Their eyes flickered with light and static. Somewhere behind them, something whispered, "Transfer incomplete." And the sky cracked open. End of Volume 1.